53% of communication is nonverbal. 58% of it is what? Body language. It's the way you walk in the room. It's what you do. It's the way you carry yourself. 34% of it is tone, the way you sound, the speed to which you talk or not. If someone talks like this, you begin to think, oh my God, I wish they would shut up. So one of the things we're going to look at is, one, if you look at that, only 7% is about what we say. Which means I could walk up to someone and say, ooh, I use Corliss. I could say, Corliss, I love you. She ain't feeling that warm and fuzzy. Nothing at all. You know? Or I could say, Corliss, I hate you. One of the things we're going to talk about is how you present yourself in terms of your body. So what we're going to do, we're going to play a little game. And so what I'm going to want people to do in just a minute is I'm going to want you to stand up, and I'm going to ask you to kind of move away from your chairs a little bit. And I want you to take a certain body posture, because I want you to see how simple it is to be able to control that. So as an example, if I say, I want you to stand up and look worried. What does worry look like? Give me your best expression of worry. Come on, give me worry. Good. Good, very good. Stop. I was kind of worried. So what I'm going to do is I want you to try this, because what I want you to get is, it's all about, we know what the answers are. We know what we need to do. We just don't do it. And so I'm going to show you how you can recognize what it is, and then how to apply that as you go out in the world. Because what I know is, if you apply that when you're out in the world, you'll have a greater impact, because people will embrace you just because they feel warm and fuzzy. So, what I'm going to ask you to do is, I'm going to ask you to stand up, everybody stand up. And so I want you to just kind of, I want you to do this kind of walking around. So I want you to find people. So what I want you to do first is, I want you to give people the look of sad. Walk around and give them your sad face. You do lip up. Come on, walk around, show them, give them sad. Give them sad.
Life is not sad.
You got a happy sad. No, I mean walk around, move. Everybody, please, sad. Okay, so now, change to surprise. I'm surprised to see you.
Now we're doing surprise.
I did all that. I want y'all to pay attention. This is going to tell how old you are. This is going to tell how old you are. This is going to tell how old you are. So let's give you the next one. I want you to give us your best cool.
Your best
Cool. And it's like this. Cool. Come on, be cool. I want you to be cool. Come be cool. Come on. You know you cool. Give me your cool walk. Come you walk. Is I want you to give happy. Now, what for you do it? Now, with happy, let me explain something about happy. Happy is breathing deeply. Happy is getting a smile on your face. It's having the walk in the body that represents happiness for you. because that's the one we're going to talk about in a minute. Because while you're being happy, in a moment I'm going to ask you to be quiet. I want you to stay happy, and I'm going to ask you some questions, and I'm going to show you something. So I want you to show people happy.
Happy! Mr. Happy, how you doing here?
Now, there was a book written by a Dr. Emoto. He's a scientist from Japan. And he did this book called Messages in Water. I know some of you have heard of it. Who's heard of Messages in Water? Okay, great. For those of you who haven't, I'm going to give you a quick overview of what it was. Basically, what he did was, he wanted to see how thought and music affected water. So he basically took this water, and he would actually have people do things like pray on it, or he would tape a word to the water, a bottle of water, or play music to the water. Then he would freeze it and put it under a special microscope, and what he found was it created something in the water. Either it was a crystal or nothing formed or whatever. So as an example, in this one on the left here, that was some water from this place at Fujiwara Dam. He took 10,000 water samples. The water was contaminated. He took 10,000 samples, he froze it, and all the samples looked like this. They had one monk. He prayed on the water for 1 hour, and then they took 10,000 more samples. They all look like that. Now, why is that important? What that says is that everything we think and what we're feeling goes out in front of us. When people say, I felt your energy, and you're like, yeah, what that mean? Okay, I'm scientifically. There's scientific research. This ain't me talking, because I wouldn't do it if I didn't know it. That proves that your thoughts go out in front of you. And you think about that. The planet is 70% water. We're 70% water. What happens is when we walk to someone and we start, our energy meets them before we get there. This Fujiwara Dam thing was like 90,000 billion gallons of water. This guy prayed for 1 hour over this water, and it had that kind of change in terms of, so what happens with us? We're going out in the world, we're going to meet people, and we're doing this. Or we're mad about the job, or whatever those other things are, we wonder why they run when they saw us coming. Because they can feel it. And one of the important things about that exercise we were doing was just taking different body shapes. It's hard to be sad when you're happy. When you're walking around smiling, when you're doing this, it doesn't, somebody stole my car. It's like, well, okay. Wait, no, they didn't steal my car. My girlfriend took it. Oh, wait, she left with my best friend. I mean, but if I stay here, there is no way I can feel different unless I slow down and I slump my shoulders and I get to talking like this and looking like, there's a process that it takes to be sad. True life story. Just last week, I was driving my car home, and it was a fluid on me. And I made it to my driveway. The moment I got here, I said, thank you, God, for getting home. That next moment, my phone rings. Danny Glover called me from Sweden. He says, hey, babe, how you doing? I said, oh, damn, my car just stopped, but I work. I said, oh, man, I'm going to be out of town. Take mine. So I've been driving Danny Glover car around for the last 2 weeks. If I would have went in with another attitude, would Danny Glover would have offered his car to me? Who knows what determines what we think about? Does anybody know? Except for you. What determines what we think about? Ourselves. Well, it's actually the questions we ask ourselves. And you're wondering, is that true? So you ask yourself a question that brought you to the answer. So we make up stuff in our head. So as an example, when we start something, we'll look around and we'll say, I wonder if she'll date me. And I'll go, well, no, she probably won't because the other one didn't. And I begin to create these negative stories about what's going on, which creates more negative stories, which creates negative crystals, which just starts this whole process. I wonder why I got no friends. And so what we want to be able to do, ask ourselves empowering questions. Because first of all, anything that's happening in our life we made up. It's gone. The car's gone. The girlfriend's gone. The mortgage is gone. All that's gone. It doesn't, there's no place you can go and find it in the past. In this moment right now, everything is perfect. What we're usually doing is looking back on a fearful past or a negative future. And that ain't what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to look at the positive past and a positive future. And so that starts with, when we get there, we got to ask ourselves a different question. We got to ask questions when we get stuck, like, what's the lesson in this for me? How can I get this and be happy while doing it? If right now I ain't got as much money as I want, what am I going to do to get there, and how will I enjoy my time?